This next comment, very funny. I'm glad he's here. I want you guys to make it loud. Make it loud. Make it loud. Make it loud. For Tyson Gusman! Thank you. Thank you. One more time for your host, Lucas Kopp, everybody. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. This is fun. I feel, Cody, we look too similar, man. We look like the same man on different paths. Yeah. Oh, Portland. How we doing, everybody? Yeah. Lucas didn't mention I'm not from. I'm visiting from Boise. That's not where I'm from. Don't associate me with it. I'm gonna keep that a secret. But one thing, a weird thing I've noticed about Portland, like, do any of your parents live here?
No.
Your parents do. You're the first person I've met. You're a second generation Portlandian. I feel like everybody's either like exiling themselves here or like their parents abandoned ship. Like something either like the parents like kicked their kids like far from Portland or all the runaways like drifted down the river and landed here. Your parents live here. Do you have a good relationship with them? Wow.
My parents live in Hillsborough. Does that count?
I have no idea how to respond to that. Not from here, don't know your parents, don't know Hillsborough. Does that count? You guys, it does count? Okay, yeah. It sounds like you guys have a great relationship. That's fantastic.
I had a great relationship with my dad up until a few years ago when cancer knocked on his door.
Good Lord, this show is different now. I don't mean to talk about dads with cancer, though I could. I would love to tell jokes about my dad's cancer because it's been 10 years and I feel like you guys should be over it by now. But I don't know. I think we'll go a different direction. I was raised by dad. Had one of them. I was a second kid. Any other second kids in the house? Yeah, that's the most second kid response, by the way. Just what you just saw, right? First kids, I've talked to a lot of people about this. First kids won't give you anything like, you keep me out of this. I will stab you in the parking lot. You leave me alone. Third kids are like, look at me, please. No one ever has. Second kids are like, all right, here if you need me. Whatever you want, I'm right here. Maybe a little clap, maybe a little cheer. That's me. That's what we're here for. Because, like, second kids weren't paid attention to, right? Like, first kids, parents are like, oh, no, what's the worst thing that could happen? Second kids are like, what's the worst that could happen? Get out there, sport, you know? Like, you know how you have, like an indoor cat or an outdoor cat? I was just an outdoor kid. I was just unsupervised. My parents just put my bowl on the porch. Like, all right, see you at dusk. That was my childhood. I just spent most of my time just, like, in the woods. Anybody, just serial killer stuff. I just figured it out. I turned out fine, right?
Yeah.
I seem like an indoor kid now, don't I? Corduroy overshirt on? Come on, this guy was raised inside, wasn't he? That was weird, though. Like, I remember I would get in all kinds of weird trouble when I was a kid because I was just unsupervised. Like, I remember one time I was outside. My dad had left out a gas can because he'd been weed whacking the creek bed. I did grow up in weed whack in the creek bed country. Anybody else? Is that what Hillsborough is? I don't know. Weed whack in the creek bed country.
Well, there is a lot of weed and there is a lot of whacking.
A lot of whacking, if you know what I mean. My dad's dead. How are we doing? So my dad had left out this gas can, and I'm like 4 years old, right? So I see this gas can from far away. I think to myself, you know, gas smells pretty good. Listen, I don't know how to describe this to you guys. Gas smells different when you're a kid, okay? Like, gas smells the way that cigars must taste to 40-year-old men, right? Gas smells how it feels to lower yourself into a hot tub real slow. Like, yeah, burns real good. Yeah, inhaling to Bruce at 4 years old. It's remarkable I still have all my teeth, isn't it? So I see this gas can, and I'm like, man, gas smells great from far away. That can only get better up close. And so I kind of waddle. You ever have these memories? You just kind of watch your body move over to something. I kind of waddle right up on it, and I go, And that is not something you forget, you guys. That one sticks. That crowded some stuff out, you guys. I can't do calculus because of that memory. That moved things around. My brain just turned the gain down on my whole sense of smell after that. I was like, we're good. We got smells. So I don't have a great sense of smell anymore. And I tell people that, and they go, oh, COVID-19. And I go, no, gas can 03, actually. Yeah, it's rough. I don't know, man. I'm a grown-up. Any grown-ups in the house? The guy running the complicated technology in the back gave that one clap. He was like, I don't know, we'll throw it out there, see if there's any other grown-ups around. I don't know. I'm against it, largely. I don't think we should be. Yeah, progressive in every way except your maturity. And I think we should regress a little bit. Anybody else regressing? Cool, couple people. Yeah, anybody else self-employed, which is my fun, quirky way of saying unemployed. Yeah, no, it's just like being a kid because I contribute nothing to society. It's great. No, it's fun. This is what I do. I do stand-up comedy for 12 people in bars with pothos hanging from the ceiling. And no, this is fun though. I love it. I make my living doing stand-up, which is great because I didn't used to, and I didn't know what to tell people. They would go, "What do you do for a living?" And I would go, "I don't." Not making a living, making a dying, actually. If things keep up like this, they won't keep up for long. You know, if life is a highway, I'm in an exit-only lane. You know what I'm talking about? But I do, makes you think, makes you reflect. You guys, I have some ideas about what I want done with my body when I die. You guys have any thoughts about what you want done with my body when I die? Getting to know each other a little bit. I don't know if you guys have opinions yet. Chop me up, throw me in the bay. I don't know. It's up to you. Probably. I mean, whoa. That is specific. You know what's gonna hit the ground? I shouldn't interact. No. That's not the end of your story. Is out the air. That's a middle ground. Something happens right after. I've decided I would like to donate my body to science because I haven't figured out how to sell it yet. I feel like that should be an option, shouldn't it? Shouldn't I be allowed to do that? You guys have heard of the reverse mortgage, right? I'm building up equity here. That's all I'm saying. Scientifically interesting things are going on. I'm anemic. Yeah, all the other comics hanging out outside. My fingies and toes are too cold. I can't. I figured out that I was anemic I figured out from my friends. Like, I just told them what I thought were, like, silly little quirks of mine. Nope, turns out, symptoms. That's not the same. I was like, yeah, you guys ever stand up so fast you can't see for, like, 3 minutes? They're like, you should see a doctor, actually. I also found out recently I have atrial fibrillation. Anybody else AFib? That's what my doctor calls it, little AFib. Any fibbies in the house, huh? Any fibsters, huh? Just me. He calls it AFib. I call it an irregular heartbeat. Huh? That's how I like to think about it. I got a funky little DJ going on in there. Just mixing things up, just keeping it funky fresh, right? Just a little. Then it stops, and it's the stopping that we're worried about. We're concerned about this. So if anybody's trained in first aid or CPR, that would be, I'm going to put you to work, huh? Did anybody take a class like that? First aid CPR class? Yeah. You in the back? Yeah. The one grown up in the house. Now we know. Now we know that one clap was like staying alive. That's the rhythm that you hit it with. Yeah. What'd you have to take? Did you take it like because you had to? Did you take it for fun?
I had to. Yeah, I was in the social services many years ago, and that was part of the.
Word. Okay. Yeah. It is. I'm glad that you said that because it is a very risky crowd work question. It is. It's very risky to be like, oh, why'd you learn how to save people's lives? Tragedy, maybe. Did the worst happen when you weren't expecting it? Okay, good. Social service. That's awesome. I took it in community college. I took a first aid and CPR class through the Red Cross because it was a health credit. I took it with another kid who was in the improv program. They shouldn't let you do that. They shouldn't let those people hang out outside of a theater space. We were in an academic environment, and we had to do act-outs. I don't know why that was part of the class, but you had to like, somebody pretended to be injured, and we were like, oh, no. And they would give you a script, right? So what they would say to us is, you're supposed to say, hey, my name is Tyson. I'm first aid and CPR certified by the Red Cross. Do you mind if I touch you? That is not what I said. What I said was, hey, my name's Tyson. I'm first aid and CPR certified by the Red Cross. Do you mind if I touch you? And slightly different energy. We're having fun. Okay, my body when I die. That's where we were. I forgot. My body when I die. So here's my concern about it, right? Here's my concern about the corpse. And I will say, getting thrown out on an airplane, that seems like a fun, goofy thing to do. I would like the instructor not to know what was going on. I'd like to have one last run, huh? You know? We jump out. He's like, oh, isn't the view beautiful? And I'm like, it'd be kind of fun. It's like, man, this guy sucks. It's just dead weight down there. Huh? Okay. So I would like to donate my body to science. Here's my concern. I'm a little worried they're going to be too respectful. Okay, I'm alone. I got to think it's fun. They're very respectful in these medical contexts. My dad was a doctor. They get cadavers. They have to have cadavers. They teach the students to be very respectful. They shake the hand. They say please and thank you. Close the eyes. Give them a kiss on the cheek. I don't know what they do. But I don't want that for my death. The way that I live, I just want people to have fun. I just want you to have a fun, silly time. I don't want my death to be any different. Here's my ideal scenario. They sit the med students down one week, and they say, hey, you guys have been really good, so we're going to do the normal dissection. And then we're going to do a silly one, huh? And that's me. That's what my body's for. Because the way I live my life, nothing makes more sense to me than, a couple of dudes just, tossing my liver around like a football. Somebody rappelling out the window with my spinal cord. There's two dudes double dutching it with my small and large intestine. Just jump in. Hey, jump out. You know what I mean? I think that'd be a good way to go out. I like it. I also decided recently what I'd like on my gravestone. You guys have any thoughts what you want on my gravestone? I kind of think it'd be fun to make that up to interpretation. I want to leave a little whiteboard on my gravestone. That'd be fun. A little expo marker next to it. You know what I mean? Nothing permanent, obviously. That's why we're here. I found out what I want on my gravestone. It does require I die a pretty specific death, but odds are looking good. Let's go on a journey. A few weeks ago, I went for a run, and I was going on a long run. I don't want to make you guys feel bad about yourselves, but I was going on a long, long run, and I didn't know where to go. Planning out my route. The only places I really knew how to get to were my friends' houses. Again, not to brag. Sorry. I have friends, and they have houses. So I decide I'm going to go to my friend Pauline's house. Going to my friend Pauline's house. Pauline might not be there. She's got a couple roommates who are really fun and cool. I was like, that's cool. If she's not there. She also has another roommate who's an absolute nightmare. And I'm a gambler. I'm a gambling man. I thought it might be fun. I just got the light, so I'm trying to figure out how much of this story I could skip through. You guys are gonna get the full meal deal. I want to tell you about this woman first, because first of all, I don't want to use her real name, so we're gonna call her Cruella. I used my friend Pauline's real name, and that's because Pauline is a good person. I don't want to say that Cruella is a bad person, so I'll just say she's bad at being a person. Do you guys understand? She's the kind of person who owns a tarantula. Do you got any tarantula owners in the house? No? Good. Any tarantulas in the house? Everybody check under your seats. Got a bit of a phobia. It'd really make me feel comfortable. So I knew going up to this woman's house, she doesn't like me. I've been to her house before. She doesn't want me there. But I'm a gambling man. I went out there, running up the house, and I could see that Pauline's car is not in the driveway, right? My friend's car not in the driveway. So I'm like, whew, okay. We're down to 50-50. You know what I mean? Maybe there's another roommate there, maybe there's not. Get a little bit closer, I see that Cruella's car is in the driveway. Odds are getting worse, I get a little bit closer, I see that Cruella is sitting in the breakfast nook next to the front door. I think, okay, this is a bad idea. And I ring the doorbell. And what I didn't realize at the time is that Cruella saw me running from up the block, got up, braced her body against the door like it was medieval times, and I was about to batter down the portcullis, you know what I mean? She has a deadbolt, but obviously I'm too mighty. So I get up, I ring the doorbell, I run away. She throws the door open. She goes, "Excuse me!" And it scared me a little bit, right? Because it's very polite words in a very impolite tone. So Scared me. It activated my fight or flirt response. So I gave her a little tee-hee-hee. It's true. She goes, "Who are you?" And I didn't answer because that's not how a ding-dong ditching works. I kept running. I wasn't about to turn around and be like, "My name's Tyson Gusman. Do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ?" It's a very different prank. So I kept running. I got home and I found out that when I left, she like pulled the other roommates in her room. She's like, "Hey, this guy came by," and they were like, "We know, it's our friend Tyson." She's like, "I don't care about that. Here's the gun in case he comes back." Yeah, kind of crazy. She had a gun the whole time, and then she was like, "I'm going to save this for the right occasion." The right occasion, a ding-dong ditching. She said this, too. She was like, "Yeah, if this were anybody else's house, he would have been shot." That's not true, is it? Do you guys shoot your ding-dong ditchers? Does Hillsborough shoot their ding-dong ditchers? Is that... Anyways, so I'm going to ding-dong ditch her again, and I'm going to see what happens. And then if I die, what you can put on my gravestone is, "Here lies Tyson, certified silly goose. Do not ask for whom the doorbell tolls. It tolls for thee." My name's Tyson Gus, but thank you guys so much.